Welcome back, everybody, to The Creative Moment, Season 9, Episode 5. We are always changing studios, and today we've got a good one. So, as you know, Dante Bullhauer, Jamie Bullhauer, we have special guest here, Rascal Martinez, and he'll get to tell you about himself here in just a moment. But first, the perennial... That's good enough. So Rascal is a music artist, a singer, songwriter, all the different things. Go ahead and tell our audience just a little bit about kind of your story and how you got started in this.
Yeah, so I've been playing music since I was about 15 years old, and yeah, just been around music all my life. So. And then a couple years ago, this studio came about. Well, it was an old bank, 1910, it was built, and turned it into a studio. I always wanted my own studio. So, yeah, kind of made that all happen, and just been traveling all over the country the last 10 years, and yeah, just been busy. And I love being my own boss, so that's been good. I always like being the entrepreneur side. And yeah, it's just been good, and I can't complain, you know. There's a few complaints, but I don't think anybody listens. So
right.
It's good.
So our first question that we kind of always ask our guests is, because this was our first episode, what we talked about, what's kind of your definition of creativity?
You know, anything that just comes out of you, you know, whether it be photographer, you know, being a videographer, or playing music, you know, all kinds. There's just so much depth to, you know, being an artist, whatever that may be. So anything that just comes out of you naturally. I feel like when sometimes I write songs, if I force myself to write songs, it's harder and the songs aren't as good. But if I just let them kind of flow out when they want to come out, then it seems to be a better song. So yeah, I don't know, just any way you can put it out there.
Right.
Yeah. So you mentioned more organic, or maybe the muse hits you. Do you have a set like workflow process? Do you have a place that you get inspired? Like, talk about how your songs come about, the ones that you like better.
You know, it's a lot of the songs that I write are just about like this life and people that can probably relate to a lot of different stories that I make. But yeah, like I said, if I force myself to do stuff like that, so I don't really have like a full process. My process that I do is I'll try to sit down with my guitar and just that's why I come up with a melody of some sort, and then I can write to the song. I can't just go in with a pen and paper and just write down a bunch of words and try to fit it in later. I'm more of I just play with my guitar and then I can write to the song after that. That's how I like to do it. I do like a lot of writing sessions, like over Zoom and stuff, and like when I was down in Tennessee a lot, I went into like BMI quite a bit and to the writers' rooms and write songs. So when you have like a 10 o'clock writing session, it's hard because you're like, okay, I got to come up with some ideas by 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And then sometimes, you know, those sessions are, you know, they're an hour, 2 hours long, and it's like sometimes you come out with something really good. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, that was kind of a waste of time, because sometimes you're just not in the moment. Yep. It's not in, you know, when you're trying to force yourself to do that. But I think the more you do that and you try to push that, the more, you know, you're better at it and coming up with those ideas that you need to do. But yeah, it's just kind of variety of like different things that I try to do.
As a writer and stuff, like I will have a line show up in my head, and then
you need to write it down.
How do you get hit with the muse? Like, how do you hear melody? Do you see what I'm asking? Like,
yeah. So I mean, it really just all down to the guitar for me. It's like if I'm like having like a rehearsal in here or something with the band, or if I'm just doing a session of some sort, that's where I'm like, I'll just mess around with my guitar and we'll just like do a jam. And a lot of the times I'll just take those jams and I'll record them and then have like some really good ideas, and I just blurt out a bunch of different lines, and then that's how and then I go back and listen to it and I'll rewrite the song however I do. So like on this new record I'm working on, that's what I did a lot. I had like sessions in here where we just mess around with it, and then I would just go back and listen to it and then come up with the ideas that I wanted, and then I'd go back and play it again, and then I'd just write it. That's how I go, you know, I like to hear the music first a little bit and then structure the song and put it all together. But because sometimes I'll hear a line or I'll like use a voice memo, and then I'll go back and like, what was that? You know? So that's why I like having my guitar, just the music behind it, so I can elevate it and then write it to it. So
I'll do the same thing when I'm experimenting with photos, whether it's an angle or putting someone in front of the camera, and I'll go back and I'm like, what was I thinking when I was like, oh yeah, let's just do this, and it turns out, and I'm like, okay, that was terrible. That was.
But you
really bad,
sometimes you come up with some stuff though. Sometimes you probably catch a photo and you're like, yeah, like that's what I wanted, something like that. So
you mentioned it was when you were a teenager, a lot of time. Did you do other art or other creative things?
Yeah, I mean, I was in like art class, and I always liked to do. I don't think my teacher liked it much, but I just come up with crazy things that I'm not an artist like that. Like I would like to be, but that's definitely not my my strong suit. So, but yeah, I mean, art. I was in like band and stuff in high school, and I was in like jazz band. I played the bass. I didn't want to do any like. I didn't read notes, so my art teachers probably just like kind of let me just do whatever I wanted. But I just still today, I don't really know much, like, I know the C and all that, and I could, whatever, the notes, but I just play by ear. So if I'm learning a new song, I just need the chords so I can listen to the song. So the way I learn songs is, like, covers and stuff. I'll listen to it like 100 times before I even look at the notes. And then I look at the notes and I know how to play the song because I've been listening to it for 100 times. So, but I enjoyed playing bass a lot, like in jazz band in college and stuff. So that's what I really like to do, was playing bass. So that's pretty much my only, I didn't have lessons or anything like that. I really just taught myself off of YouTube and just playing. The more shows I do, the more, I've been playing a long time, so anymore.
So when did you know, whether it was high school, after high school, whatever, that you wanted to be this full time? You wanted to do the Rascal Martinez experience now.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we should title it.
Yeah, there we go.
Jimi Hendrix, they'd be mad if I did that. But, it kind of just fell into place. I started DJing a lot too, like when I was young, because my parents and my aunts and uncles, they had like just good family parties down like in their basement, and they would always put on records like Jim Croce and Johnny Cash and the Monster Mash, during Halloween and stuff. So, and I just loved all of that, just being in that environment. So I started taking over those parties. Like my aunt and uncle would let me play some of my songs, and it was thankfully like they let me do that because I was not good, obviously. And so I started doing that, and I started like DJing the parties. So like I just started playing all the songs that I thought would be fitting. And so I started DJing weddings when I was like 15, 16 years old. I don't know why anybody would trust me to do their wedding, but I think I was cheap. I was cheaper than everybody else. So I did that, and then like in high school I was doing a lot of proms, a lot of homecomings and stuff. And so that's how I started really getting into like doing as like a performing, because DJing is like, I didn't like scratch and stuff. I just put on a party. Like that was my main thing. So I didn't really call myself a DJ. I was more just the entertainer to make sure like people were having a good time. So I DJ'd my own high school prom, and I actually got prom king that night too.
Hey,
it's like, double whammy. Got to work though, So the class paid me, It was good.
There you go.
But it was, I started doing that, and then I gradually just started to turn that, and I was playing, so I did a lot of performing during the weddings and stuff after a while. So I did like karaoke at Applebee's for 4 years during college, and I never do karaoke again.
Is there any footage of that, found footage?
There's probably somewhere on some phone you can't get it off of. But, so I did that for so long. It was like every Tuesday night, 9 to midnight, and like, so looking back on that, I'm like, I don't know why I did that. That was something else. But it was cool because, I played there too. Like I kind of did my own thing, and it kind of got me into just performing all the time. So then I gradually got out of like, I still DJ once in a while and do that, but I really just, play music full time. So I'll do a lot of weddings, but it's more of the live band and having a bigger party like that. So it just kind of, all those different things led me into the direction of just doing it, and I kind of just made it my career, kind of just fell into it, and I didn't have any like, in the beginning, I didn't like, this is like, I want to do this. I was just like, I was just doing it. The next thing. I wasn't really thinking of like long term until, probably 6 years ago. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely, or 10 years ago probably, and this being on the road a lot, and then this is definitely, I don't want to do anything else but play music. And so I do a lot of other things, but my main focus is definitely just performing and putting out records and trying not to make bad songs.
So how in our culture and stuff, money is a big, goal aspect or measurement of success. How do you define success in your creative endeavor?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I mean it is hard to make a career out of what I'm doing, for sure. I mean, in any art form, I feel like it's a lot harder to do that. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of thing, right? But I don't think it in terms of money wise of being successful. I don't think you have to have a certain amount of money in the bank account to call you successful. I think of just doing what you're doing, and just. I mean, I'm just working all the time, just grinding away, and I think that alone is success already. I'm already doing it. So, people, would tell me a lot of different things. They'll ask me, like, why aren't you famous yet? Or, like, and all this. It's like, it's not about fame for me. I'm just trying to put out the best songs that I can put out, and then to be, doing what I'm doing. And I feel like I've just stayed to that. That's success already in itself. And then I have the studio, and that's a lot of things that I got going on too. And so there's this, I try not to think of it. Before I was like, I just want to be on a label, just want to be on the road all the time, and then I'll be happy, and that side of things. But now I kind of just like push that aside. I don't care about all that. I mean, I would love for all that to happen, yes, but I'm really not, just worrying about it anymore. I decided to set it on the side. Let me just make good music, play all the shows that I want to play, and see what comes of it, So I'm not really concerned about where it's going to go. I'm just day to day trying to make good stuff happen. So
I know you've talked about, and I know maybe a little better than an audience member that hasn't heard, but talk about where your inspiration comes from. I know you have songs about your family, about love, you do a lot of covers of like Johnny Cash, things like that. So who or what kind of gives you inspiration to keep writing and playing music?
Sure. I mean, yeah, because there's a lot of things where you can get, said no a lot to, or get pushed down and really feel like defeated and don't want to do it anymore. But yeah, at the end of the day, I watch a lot of like documentaries and a lot of things about like, Tom Petty and Jim Croce and all the good ones, Johnny Cash. And I love stuff like that. I like watching those things. Or like Dean Martin. I used to watch a lot of Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra with the Rat Pack and stuff. And I don't know, just seeing that stuff over and over and over again. I watched a lot of that. And just seeing, just kind of what it could be. But at the end of the day, I love music, and really what it is too, I really love performing, because I watch, people in the crowd, whether they're singing the song, and I do a lot of senior centers and stuff too, and I play a lot of places like that, and just playing like an old Johnny Cash song or old like Hank Williams, and seeing them, come alive and be happy, and so they look forward to it. I do a lot of these shows like monthly, and have like 150 people come out for these facilities, and they want to know when I'm coming back. And I feel like that kind of thing, making people that much joy for coming in for 45 minutes, I mean, that's what it's about, making people happy, making people feel that stuff, because music is so powerful. It's like I play in places where it's like a memory care place. They can't, they have really bad dementia, but they can sing King of the Road by Roger Miller, word for word. And really like that, that's why I still do those shows. I do a lot of those, and just playing my regular shows and stuff too, seeing people just, be happy. I mean, what more could you do in a job that you could, make somebody's day while, just having a good time, and, it's not about whatever, drinking or anything like that, but just, in the moment, having a good time. And I feel like that's like, at the end of the day, that's why I do it,
Yeah.
But I don't know if that answered the question.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Kind of went over.
talk about you personally. What is more joyful for you, the beginning of a new song or the end when it's done and completed?
I think the beginning, because it's like, oh man, this is gonna be a good one, and then by the end it's like, oh my gosh,
just get it done.
what
and
is
get it
this
out.
song? Yeah, I guess it just depends on the song, you know. Because some songs I feel like they are the opposite, right? It's like, I don't know about the song, and then by the end of it, it's like, oh my gosh, I love this song. This is a good one. But or sometimes it's the opposite too. So it's like, no, this can be a really good one, and by the end it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna put that on the record, you know. So it's a variety. I don't know.
Okay. So do you have a particular song that you're most proud of?
I mean, there's a lot, but probably about my son Milo. Like that's probably one of my. I mean, or my wife's song too. But Milo's song, you know, was just a raw thing that me and my wife we didn't have any intention of making a song, but we had such a, you know, eye-opening moment in the hospital when he was born and stuff, and so that song just kind of came out. I really love the songs that are just so real, that are just right there, and that just come out. And like those songs are, I mean, there's some, you know, on the record here and there where I just put some songs together, and that was like how it came about. But those really heartfelt ones, and I have another one that's coming out, and it's a real story, and I just love a real story. You know, I don't like listening to songs that are just about pointless things. I want to hear a song or make a song that people can relate to, you know, on any kind of level. So, yeah, there's some that I'm proud of, some that I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't put that one out.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. It's all about the art. So.
Right. So, kind of maybe even diving a little psychologically here, to perform the way you do, you're very like energetic. I mean, you get the crowd into it. Was there any initial kind of like confidence struggles, especially maybe even starting out at 15, 16, of like whether it's imposter syndrome or just hope, like being anxious that the people aren't going to like your stuff or like how you perform or any of that? Was there any like confidence hurdle that you had to get through beforehand, or were you just always kind of naturally?
No, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure that's always, you know, at the end of the day, as long as I feel like we're capable of putting on the show, then I'm just going to just do it, you know, just make it happen. The big struggle is like I play a lot of covers, and I feel like, especially like weddings and things like that, sometimes I'm a little nervous to play my own stuff because I want to keep the party going, and sometimes I feel like I don't know if that would be the right type or the right time to put out like my own stuff. So that's kind of like my struggle sometimes, is like I'm there to put on the party, but also people are there to listen to what, you know, my songs, because I have a lot of requests that come out for like my stuff, which is awesome, and that's what I want, right? But sometimes I can't decipher that line sometimes, where like if it's a good time to put it out, or if I should just, you know, keep playing the covers for a minute. But so that's kind of like my struggle sometimes. But I try to throw out as many originals as I think that we should put out or play during the set and stuff. But sometimes it gets a little, I'm just, you know, trying hard to find a good balance between the two, because I know I've talked to people before and they're like, don't play any covers, just play originals. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah.
I like doing those covers because all the covers that I do, and people ask for different songs all the time, like Luke Bryan or whatever, all those other ones, and I don't just play any cover. That's not what I am. I'm not a jukebox. I play a lot of songs that people like, but I also play a lot of songs that people don't hear live. You know, like a lot of CCR stuff, a lot of Jim Croce. I mean, people probably play that, but like Louie Louie, I've never heard anybody play Louie Louie before. And I play songs that resonate with me. So all the covers that I do, I like those songs. I don't play songs that I don't want to play, you know? I mean, Wagon Wheel is like, okay, you know, I've played it too many times now. But, you know, so I still play some of those. But I don't just go out and learn any song just because I think the crowd's going to like it.
Sure.
I like the songs that I play because I like them first, and then by the end, you know, I'm like, okay, I don't listen to that anymore. Because I'll play it in the show. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. But yeah, that's how I kind of like, you know, I just want to play songs that I want to play. So yeah, I don't know.
So staying on the little psychological or the little writer's block or burnout, like, do you have a process to deal with that, or are you just into so many different things you don't really have
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like, gosh, we haven't released a record for 5 years. So, I mean, it's been a minute. I've been busy. I mean, I've been on the road a lot, and I do a lot of other things and stuff too, and then getting the studio going. So, yeah, I mean, I do have that where it's like, it's just sometimes I just not in the moment where I just can't write anything, and so I just wait, and sometimes I just need to just sit in the studio more often and just try to put stuff together. But yeah, I definitely come up with things where I'm just not in the mood to write anything, and so I'm just so focused on the live show or whatever have you, doing other things. So definitely comes up a lot where I have to force myself to like get back in there and start writing again. But
what do you enjoy more, being out on the road, just kind of playing, performing, or kind of sitting in here, coming up with music, coming up with lyrics, things like that?
I mean, I like both for sure. I mean, the road can be a grind for sure. It's a lot. I mean, it's like traveling all the time, living out of a suitcase, so that's a lot. I mean, people just see the show, and then they go home. Mm-hmm. I mean, as you know, there's so much more prep, like whether it's a rehearsal with the band, getting all the things like where we staying, where we eating, when's the load-in. There's so many other things that people don't see that's where a lot of that work is. It's not the show necessarily. I mean, it's a lot because I jump around a lot. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, there's just so many other things where it's just that's a lot of busy work. But I do like sitting in the studio and really just honing in and doing what I'm doing and writing new songs or practicing and stuff too. But yeah, I like both for sure. But I mean, I love being on the road, just playing and meeting new people all the time, and just being able to show what we got going on too. Yeah. So yeah. But
so we had an episode where we talked about the bad stuff. What do we do with the stuff that just isn't very good? So
are you talking about this podcast?
So what do you do with your stuff? Like the stuff that you just where do you keep it? Like I honestly keep everything. I've got Post-it notes. One of my proudest poems is on the back of a cigarette carton.
Nice.
Written at work. I mean, so I personally keep everything. I have everything, the good and the bad. What do you do with the bad stuff?
I mean, I keep it all too. I mean, it's just sometimes there's like stuff where I just don't think it's the right time with like music or something, and then I might bring it back. So like on this new record, there's songs that I wrote like 5 years ago, and I just didn't want to put it out yet, or I just didn't think it was the right thing. And now I kind of restructured them a little bit and made them different, and now I'm going to release some of those. But yeah, I mean, I hold on to all that stuff. Like I have, I don't know, like thousands of voice memos too, all those ones. Or I have a lot of files on my computer too that are just different songs that are from a long time ago that I just, but I hold on to all that stuff because you never know.
Yeah.
Something might come back, and I have like thousands of pieces of paper like with different things. I'm like, I have no idea what this is, but you never know, I might use it sometime. So, but I keep all of that, so it's fun.
Right. So kind of touching a little more wider spectrum, what does a kind of week look like for you in general? I know you have on there the 12 cities, 17 days on your map. Yeah. Is that coming up or is that past?
No, that's past. Like I've done a lot of tours through California and stuff, so that's how I like to visualize and see where I'm going. So we used to, tour a lot more like those 20, 30 day just on the road in the van every day. Mm-hmm. Those are a lot, and I want to do more of those, but a lot of the time I'll just like fly to the city, do some shows, and I'll fly back.
Sure.
It's a little bit, easier, and then I have like, family here and stuff too. So until I get to the point where I can be in a tour bus and my boy has his own spot, then I'll go on the road for months for sure. I would say I wouldn't be, as long as I have those, my family close to me, then we can go wherever.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. What were we talking about?
Just kind of like, what is like a week?
A normal week, yes, if there's a normal week in your
sorry,
life.
guys. Yeah, my week's definitely, people ask me like, what do you got coming up? I'm like, I have no idea. I take week to week because, it's a lot. I do a lot of handyman work too on the side, and so I stay busy with that when I'm not in here. So it's juggling the studio, getting stuff ready for like the weekend for the live stuff, and then whenever I can fit in people to do handyman stuff. So I gotta say it's from about 6 a.m. to about I try to go to bed by 8, so it's busy all the time. So
those 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. shows really
they do. Yeah, so being on the road, it's like when I'm off the road, my boy goes to bed 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm going to bed.
Yep.
It's like I got my stuff, I'm done. And I'd rather wake up at 5 o'clock and do some things in the morning before, instead of going to sleep later. Because playing on the road, it's like any hour of the night. It's 1 a.m. and you're getting back at 2 or 3, and that can be a lot.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the flex in the schedule. You never know.
It's a necessary evil for the moment.
Yes, but it's okay though, because I really like to be busy, and I like to stay, as long as I have to have like reminders on my phone go off because I'll forget. So something small, like check the mail, like just check the mail. Have the timer go off so I remember what to do. But there's a lot of things, so I'm so busy and I kind of lose track.
So is there any like standstill moment on the road, whether it's at a venue or just like in the car, whatever, that stands out to you as like one of your best memories from just your time out along the whole country?
I guess just being around with my dad drives me around a lot. So we've been doing that for forever, 10, 15 years. So I really enjoy all the time that we spend, because my brother played a lot of the drums and stuff too, so we toured around a lot. And so it's a big family ordeal, like where my mom and my sister would fly out to wherever we were at so we could hang out, and so just be in the family moments and stuff, and just enjoying just kind of the time together is always super enjoyable, because me and my dad get along real well too, and we can have a good time. I really like eating at Runza. We eat Runza a lot, and so that's there's always we always stop at Runza. It's like if it's a Nebraska show, it's like, where are we going to eat? Runza. Obviously we should have them sponsor.
Yeah.
We eat so much of their food, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that it's hard for me to remember back. We used to film a lot of those tours and stuff. And I can look back, and that's so much fun to like kind of look back and see and kind of relive the moment, and see, like, because I can remember back to what specifically that was. And so, but there's so much stuff nowadays. It's like it's hard. Like people come up to me about like playing their wedding, and they're like, "Oh, you played my wedding." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, I remember that."
I was like, the only question I asked, like, "Did we have a good time?" And that was it, because I just can't remember everyone, and it's hard because people come up a lot, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I don't."
You have to ask the generic question back to them.
Was it a good time? Yeah. That's all I know. If it was, great. That's good. We did our job, but. Yeah, I don't know. You meet a lot of people and you do a lot of shows, and it's hard to remember all this stuff.
Right.
But.
So, over the years, what has been the biggest change for you in regards to producing music?
The biggest change? Let's see. Well, now, I kind of... I've always just gone into studios and just, working on my own stuff. Now I really like the creative side of being like more of a producer or the engineer. So bands come in here and I can kind of switch gears and I can kind of look at it from the outside spectrum a little bit. But it's just kind of, I just have such a diverse thing going on all the time, whether it's me doing my own stuff or if I have bands coming in. I like to switch those gears and do, kind of like, I think you should do this, when it was always me on the other side of like, hey, let me try that. So I really like the creative, like just difference, because I'm, being a performer, I know a lot of that side of things. So I've signed a few artists to Stolen Vault Records, the label itself.
Oh.
And I enjoy being able to talk with the artists and stuff, and like if they're preparing for a big show, like I have this artist, and she's got a big show in August, like this big county fair opening for a bigger name. And that's fun for me because I know exactly what to do in that situation, for her to go perform. So, just giving them like pointers and things. And it's like, I love that. I really want to turn this into like a bigger label. So that way, because I enjoy and I know what to tell people to go perform and how to do it and like what to look out for. And so, I just like having the diverse kind of thing to be able to do that. So it's just, I don't know, a lot of fun doing in that kind of a variety of talents that you can use, whether it's producing or if it's getting ready for a big show.
So as you mentioned about giving your expertise and stuff. This was also another issue or podcast we have. Do you think that creative people, artists and stuff like that, have a responsibility in their art to other artists or the culture or things, or do you feel that art is just the personal expression?
Yeah, I mean, if people want to give out their insight on like things, I don't think many people do, because I feel like they want to keep that to themselves.
Yep.
But for me, it's always been kind of a thing, because it's so common. Like if you are opening for somebody, or if they're opening for you, there's just like a certain demeanor. People like want to like, I'm better than you. I've never been about that. I was like watching the opener, whether we're opening or if we're closing it out. To me, the lineup doesn't matter. Like just go do your thing, right? But there's a lot of artists, like especially here in Nebraska, there's a few of them that are just like, I don't know, maybe got their head up a little too high, and I like sharing that insight, because to me, we're all in it together, right? And I feel like it's a hard one for people to say or whatever. But I like helping out other Nebraska artists too. Anything that I can help them out with, like just give them some insight or whatever, how they're going to book a show or whatever. I like to, and that's why I like having this space here, because it's nice, because a lot of Nebraska artists are coming here to either record or they're playing a show here, and I just like, it's like we're all Nebraska artists, so like let's just hone this in together a little bit. So I don't know, hopefully that answered your question. I don't know.
Yeah. So you grew up here, you're from here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is there, this is kind of more even a question just for me, just about being in your hometown kind of your whole life, building up your brand, so to speak, kind of your identity in your hometown. What entices you to stay here as opposed to maybe moving to Nashville or somewhere bigger where maybe there's more opportunity, maybe there's not? I mean, the grass is always greener type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So what incentivizes you or entices you, or do you love about just staying in your hometown and kind of building that up with you? I'm sure a lot of people only know about Sutherland because Rascal Martinez is from there, right?
Yeah. There's always, I lived in Denver for a while when I was, it's been several years now, and then I was down in Tennessee for a little bit. I lived over there for just a little while. I was just renting a spot with like some friends, and I really love this city. I always thought I was gonna like move to Chicago or something, because I really love just Chicago, or like New York is really cool too. I really love New York, but I guess being on the road so much, what really turned me off to like living in a bigger city was when I went home, I just wanted to be quiet, and really kind of that was like how simple it was. I really just was on the road a lot, and when I went home, I just wanted to be away from all the busyness. So that's kind of what landed. I think I probably would have been fine in Nashville. I could have done all that stuff, but I really just wanted to bring it all home, because I really just love just how quiet it is out here, how just like it's a little bit slower, and and I just wanted to kind of bring it back home and raise my family here, and have my wife here, my boy, and I have a lot of family around too. And I feel like that was more important to me, doing something like that, than trying to go live in a bigger city. Because I could have probably been on Broadway doing all that stuff and maybe landed something different. But I feel like with technology now though too, you can still be everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I still fly a lot and do all that, and so I just wanted to kind of just have a nice quiet when I'm off the road. So,
absolutely.
So I think, it's all possible from here. It just might not be as fast maybe if you were in a bigger city doing something like that. But I don't know. This is what I do. So I don't know. I just like Sutherland. It's quiet and nice and relaxed. It's like a place, I always explain this to people, because nobody knows. If you go to big cities, they don't know where Nebraska is, number one. Yeah. And they're definitely got to know where Sutherland's at. So they're like, where is that? I'm like, oh, gosh, that's okay. It's fine. But I always tell them it's a town where you can stop in the middle of the road and have a conversation, and people would just go around.
Yep.
That's that for you,
Cool.
So I like that. Because I stop a lot.
Oh, all right. Usually our last question is, what advice, what would you give to somebody just starting out in your field? You know, your kind of last word. What
Yeah.
would you do?
I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's persistence. If you want to be better at something, you just gotta stick with it and just play all the time. If you want to be a musician, then just get really good at what you're doing and just keep going. I think the big thing is people quit because maybe they get discouraged of some sort of whether they didn't have a good show or whatever it was. But just stay persistent, because that's all I've been doing the last 10 years is just sticking with it. And that's with anything. I mean, any career really is. If you want to be better at something, you just got to work at it. So, just don't get discouraged. Do your own thing. Don't let anybody tell you any different. That's it. I appreciate you guys having me on your podcast too. So.
Absolutely. And thank you guys. We'll link all of his his Spotify, his Instagram, things like that, so you can check out his music, his social media. I don't know where you do a lot of your kind of promotional stuff. We kind of add, so if there's anything specific you want to plug, the mailing list or the record, anything like
for
that,
sure.
Go for it.
I mean, everything's under Rascal Martinez on Spotify, so definitely check that out. We got a lot of new music coming out that's going to start coming out hopefully soon. Hopefully not in another 5 years. Hopefully another couple months or something. And then check out stolenvaultrecords.com. And if you guys are interested, we do these cool SVR live shows and bring in like a lot of artists from all over the country. And it's just like a 30-person sold-out show to just really cool, intimate, exclusive party. So you can check that out. And just be looking out on Instagram, Facebook. We update that all the time. And got a lot of cool shows coming up this summer. So, yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. As always, again, all that stuff will be linked there in the description, whether it's the Apple Podcast or YouTube or any of that. But with that, we'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Peace out.